Hello and welcome to a brand new video. Welcome to rating the most popular men's colognes as whether they're Republican, Democratic, Centre, or not voting. Let's get straight into it. The first one we have is Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, one of the more popular colognes. I quite like it myself. I've got a couple bottles which you might be able to see behind me. It's very good, but worn by a lot of people in China. So where does that put it on the ranking? Because it has no sweetness to it, it's just kind of like a very sophisticated, gentlemanly fragrance. I'm going to put it, it's going to be our first Republican fragrance. It could be Centre arguably, but no, we'll put it in Centre. Just because the next one we have is Valentino Born in Roma Intensely. Now, if you don't know what this is, it's quite a sweet, impactful fragrance, very warm and inviting. And because of that, I do think it's worn by someone, a guy who's a little bit more soft. And stereotypically, I'm going to have to put it in the Democratic section. Next up, we've got Versace Eros. If you've ever been about 11, you know what this fragrance smells like. Very sort of bubblegummy, party, Ibiza, I'm going out to pool kind of smell. Because it's kind of got that sweet bubblegumminess to it, but people wear it just to try and get lucky, I'm going to put it in Centre. Alright, so next up we have Dior Homme Intense. Been rated, I think, top men's fragrance voted by women many years. Very complimented fragrance. If you're like a leather jacket, cigarette smoker kind of guy, perfect for you. Also been very popular with 14-year-old boys currently. I think those two overlap quite a bit. But I really like it. It's got a smokiness to it. It's got a lot of depth to it. No sweetness. Boom. It's going to be our first Republican fragrance. Now, going from a very, very, very masculine fragrance to one not so much. However, Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir is a tricky one because main two notes, guess what they are? On one side of the political spectrum, you've got honey. And on the other side of the political spectrum, you've got tobacco. Now, where do we put it then? Two such polarizing notes. Well, I'm going to sound like a broken record here. You're going to think I'm going to put it in Centre, but I'm actually going to put it in Republican just because it looks like the Trump 45 fragrance that he released recently. All gold. Okay. Next fragrance we have is another Jean Paul Gaultier. We've actually got a triple threat of Jean Paul Gaultiers coming up, but Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Le Beau Eau de Toilette. Now, what are we saying? Tropical, coconut, hazelnut. I do love it. It's a good fragrance, but it is like a tropical, sweet air freshener in a good way. And for that, because that over sweetness and that tropical coconut heavy note, and like the leaf thing is weird and lame, I'm going to put it in Democratic. Now, another Jean Paul Gaultier. Now, stereotypically, you would say it's very sweet, so you've got to put in Democratic, Finn. But I beg to differ. I do think that there are certain aspects of it which could be quite Republican, but I do think it does lean more towards Democratic, and that is just because of that sweetness and the loudness. It is a bit look at me, which I think stereotypically might be more of a Democratic trait, but what am I to tell you, right? This is for comedic purposes. 1 Million. Now, I hate this fragrance. I think it's quite sleazy. I think it's more of like I'm going out to try and get lucky again, but like not in a good way, like not in like a Versace Eros, like if I don't get lucky, I'm going to go home and cry. This is more of a, I'm not going to get lucky and then go and hit the nearest guy I can see right in the face from behind. And for that, it gives me kind of conspiracy theorist, anti-vax kind of vibe. So it could be in Republican, but I think that's an easy option. So we're going to put it in not voting because I don't trust the government and they can't send me a valid voting when I live off the grid, right? Cool. Okay, so moving on to one of my most complimented fragrances, the most popular male fragrance back to back to back years. It is Sauvage Eau de Toilette. Now, there's many arguments you could make about where to put this. You could say, because it's the most popular men's fragrance, it's MPC, it should be put in, I don't know, center, because you can't put it anywhere else. But I would argue that a Democrat would be more likely to say that it's too popular, so I'm not going to wear it. I want to stand out. Versus a Republican's just going to go, dang, it smells good. I'm going to wear it. So for that reason, I'm going to put it in Republican just because I feel like people that wear it aren't really going to care that it's the most popular fragrance. But yeah, moving on to one of the most popular fragrances on fragrance TikTok right now. If you are 16 and a guy, you own this fragrance. The amount of 16-year-olds I've sold this to in the past year is insane. Stronger with You Intensely. It's a spicy, sweet, vanilla fragrance. Smells like Christmas in a bottle. You might be able to see it behind me. I've got it. I've put a massive dent in it. It's yummy. Like, I won't lie to you. But because of that spiciness, it could be here. Because of that sweetness, it could be in Democrat. So I'm going to put it in center. And then we'll split up the YSL, shall we? YSL Y, Eau de Parfum. One of my most complimented fragrances. And I might need to make another video on fragrances like this, where it's just fragrances that every girl loves. This fragrance. I don't know why, but I mean, I know why. It smells good, but there's just certain things about it. It's fresh. It's sweet. If I only had one fragrance to buy, it might be this one. However, because of that fresh sweetness, and it's quite like a little bit soft, and I'm going to put it in Democrat. Yeah, that's a toughie, but I had to do what I had to do. Now, Valentino Born in Roma, the first of the Valentino Born in Roma line. Another fragrance that has been taking over fragrance TikTok. Where does it go in this tier list? It has a fresh, just out of the shower, loud vibe to it, but it's not too overly sweet, and it's not too overly sort of spicy and masculine. So I think because of that, I'm going to put it in center, especially because people that wear it probably aren't old enough to vote anyway. So yeah, I think that's where it goes. And last but not least, for the last fragrance of the most popular men's fragrances, and whether they are Democratic or Republican, we're going to go for YSL Myself. It's sort of like a fresh fragrance with a vanilla on the base, which really comes through. I'm actually not the biggest fan of it, and because it's overly sweet, it's kind of worn by like a fragrance that if you pushed him, he'd die. Like, that's the kind of guy. So I'm going to put it in Democrat. And yeah, that's the list. Thank you for watching. Remember, this has absolutely no political feel to it. It's just for comedic reasons. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Comment down below what you thought. Did I put anything in the wrong place? And if you do have any questions, drop them down below or send me an email. Peace out.